Penguin Random House Audio presents Little Big Bully. This is the author, Heid E. Erdrich. Indanis, Ingosis, Ninabim. For Eliza, who survived the polar vortex with me. For the girl who melted an ice giant before it could eat us all. For we must all swallow hope to burn the fear within us. How? Loves, how I love you, how we hang on words, how eaten with need, how we need to eat, how weevils sift the wheat, how cold it is, how thick with hoarfrost, ice slick, sleet freeze, how wintry the mix, how full of angst, how gut-sick, how blue-lipped, how we drink a health, how we care, how easy over as eggs, how it all slides, how absurd, how yet tender we all, how wrapped in a thick coat, how battered, how slender the flesh, how we wrap ourselves, how many selves we all, how I miss you many, how I see you, how your eyes warm mine, how tiny am I inside, how enormous my need, how you open an old-fashioned satchel, how deep it yawns, how bleak this need, how like winter, how it yet catches the light, how brilliant the sundogs perihelion, moondogs paraselene, phenomenon optic, how fetching your spectacles, how my thumbs might fit alongside the slope of your nose, how my own glasses slide down my thin bridge, how ridiculous the theory of the bridge, how inane the bibble-babble, how we grew to be friends, how we grew thumbs, how opposable we all, how we grew sparks, how we blew up a fire, how angry, how incensed, how we resist, how we beat up drops, how water will not run, how we distract, how loud the dog snores, how loudly, how noisy the snow grows, how many degrees below, how we fret, how again, how we all came here, how did we come, how loves, how did we come to this? Part 1. Sovereign Love. When I look upon the beloved, the real beloved, not the beloved of memoirs made up in revenge, but the active generator of love, the love maker. When I look upon you, beloved, I might avert my gaze, let it stray only to your hands, then up to your throat. It is only in holding your eyes away from mine that I can stay sovereign in my love. It is only for you, not from you. It is more than state or nation. This love is itself unto itself. The only name it needs, it speaks within me. Call it what you will. It will answer. Variations true. Subtle color variations of lilac keep coming back to me. Late 1970s, I asked my adult cousins in Germany, what did you do in the war? We were young, they said. We didn't know. All was normal, they said. Normal auf Deutsch. We took our bikes, they said, out of the Stadt, the city. They went to gather flowers. Some seasonal fest they biked to dance, to eat, to sing. I imagine them in wide skirts, with aprons maybe, on curvy bikes with wire baskets, filled with lilac blossoms, overflowing and abundant in all the young things. I imagine them pedaling back on a day that happens later, but time collapses in these instances, and I see them breaking heavily when they find the city ruined. Then they run to the river that actually happened, survive waves of flame, too late for my father's grandparents, already dead in the rubble. Buried in debris, the city later piled into an enormous hill that grew over green and inviting, along the same paths my cousins biked, and recalled when I asked, "What did you do?" "Normal," they said. I never understood, instead kept lilacs in my head, so many pinks and faded inky purples that turn blue in age, so many stages of one bloom that might not grow there, but my mind maybe stood lilac as substitute for a German word. "Normal," they said. I never knew how many variations of a vision we can spin to make one image that might not even have been true, but now is now, and now I know we do. All nations. I would like to think they've gone off somewhere, safer. Chevron finchwing, split swallowtail. Not gone, gone. Just off. Not halved. Clap of doves, yellowhammer flicker. Even now, extinction sounds a bit, what? Otherworldly? Dinos on lost islands? Meadowlark vibrato, loon tremolo. Warbler warble. Warblers once 1,000 specks too quick to see, except as a totality, a trembling tree. Some think it our accomplishment. Say, extermination. Blackbirds contract, like a thought cloud above a cartoon. One notion suddenly turns a helix, a message. One nation. Like to think they've gone off. It's these floods drove them away. The way fear makes me think I'll fly apart, leave my shoes on earth. So I weigh my body down, a grounded creature. Like to think of the badger. I honk to avoid tragedy. Bad enough 2 lanes make a monarch murderer of me. To think how aerodynamics save most, boosted over my windshield. The badger, no doubt drawn to the road to eat killed dragonflies, checkers, skippers, grasshoppers, moths. My tiny extermination. Before I weighed my body down, I was so small, so sure. Butterflies loved me, trusted my outstretched hands. Painted ladies landed, licked salt off my palms, then the corners of my mouth. Native child of the last post-war, I heard extermination in the policy called termination. Saw yellow stars and children packed like cattle. Their faces, our future faces. And even when I knew our grandfather fought to stop their termination of our tribe, and even when robins kept spring from silence, when eagles started their return, my fear
Sample complete. Ready to continue?